Namaste. Good morning. And I always stay on topic. When I say I stay on topic, I talk about what's going on very recently. And I want to talk today about challenges. Life is nothing. If life offers nothing, it offers us lots of opportunities to deal with challenges. And it's a choice. The challenges are there. We don't get to choose our challenges. Life presents the challenges. What we can do is work on how we respond to, or how we don't respond to, or in what frame of mind, state of existence do we deal with these challenges. Because definitely they're coming. Good times come, and let the bad times roll. It just is like a movie. Just watching, just witnessing. So today I'm talking about times of challenges, and I want to go back to, here's my iPad, and I'm reading Thich Nhat Hanh. Of all it's in his 90s now, he's back in Vietnam, his home country, and he's a beautiful, beautiful soul. And if I can identify with any living being completely, this is the man. And this is teaching, his words of wisdom. He's just a gentle soul. In the Dalai Lama sense of another gentle soul. And I want to talk about what's happened to me recently. That I've had nothing seemed to go right. Even the smallest things were difficult. Just an example, I have the coin purse, and I turned the wrong way, and I spilled coins all over the road. And I am purposeful. I do in the moment, but sometimes the moment gets screwed up. And they accumulate. There seem to be a lot of small things go wrong. In Hawaii we say manini, means small. Xiao in Chinese, small, little things, just not big things, but little things, and they just kind of accumulate. And I seem to go through periods of time now and again where even being mindful, things screw up. I screw up. So I was going through, I was feeling, it was a kind of accumulative. I was feeling, if I had to be honest, I was feeling a little bit depressed because the accumulation. I said, I always bang my head. I got a big old noggin, and I'm famous for banging it on something. And so 3 or 4 or 5 times in a day to bang it on something is drive me crazy. Besides getting a little bit of a headache. Okay, here's what Thich Nhat Hanh said. The very next day, when I'm coming to terms and say, okay, I need to remove myself from the situation and witness it and just acknowledge it and say this is what's going on, and all things come to an end. So knowing that, finding relief, knowing that it's just a matter of time, a matter of moments, until something new is on my plate. Life is providing another different kind of opportunity. But the day after, I've kind of reconciled, and I spent the day kind of in seclusion and a lot of rumination and a lot of chewing the cud like the cow does. I put something inside my mouth and I just chew it over and over again until I can prepare it to digest. But anyway, after I've kind of come out of this, because it was stressed out over at least a week. It seemed like a week anyway. In the very next day, on Facebook, I found Thich Nhat Hanh. I found his post. And here's what he said, and it was so appropriate. There are days when you feel it's just not your day, and everything is going wrong. The more you try, the worse the situation becomes. Everyone has days like that. Thank you, very free. Everyone has days like that. That's when it's time to stop everything, which I did a few days ago. Go home, which means to center, and take refuge in yourself. Find solace, look within. Look within for the solutions. Pardon me, I'm fooling around here. But I want to work with my settings for just a minute and see where I went wrong. Okay, that's okay. How about this one? Aha, there it is. Okay. Certain settings I have to set to keep my machine from falling asleep. So bear with me. I'm sorry. Bear with me. Okay, here I am. I'm back again. So take refuge in yourself. Rearrange everything. Your feelings, your perceptions, your emotions. They're all scattered everywhere. It's a mess inside. Recognize and embrace each emotion. Practice mindfulness and concentration. And tidy up everything within yourself. This will help you restore your calm and peace. So I'm going to go over a little bit. There are days when you feel like it's just not your day and everything is going wrong. Yeah, and I found the same solution that he offered, but these days recently, I really love to find someone else. I say things the way that I can say them, and I really love to find something that'll happen very quickly after I make a statement or pontificate or share or offer a point of view or share my experience, however you want to term it, whatever terminology you want to use. And within minutes or no longer than a day, I get something like this. This pops up and there's this, in my face. Okay. So what does he offer? Let's go back down to so we have problems every day. He talks about being a mess inside. Definitely was a mess. Poor Colleen, I shared it with her, my mess. So then he says, recognize and embrace each emotion, every good, bad, and different. Recognize, identify, and accept, embrace it. Practice mindfulness, which I always do. But just to go back and refocus is stressing this. Mindfulness and concentration. And tidy up everything within yourself. This will help you restore your calm and peace. Beautiful. And I'm a tidy person, but sometimes my mind gets to be in a mess. My monkey mind or whatever. So just a reminder to tidy up. As another way I put it is, we can't really change the world around us too much. All those within our power is how we react, how we see, how we act, the message that we send out. And I call this cleaning your own back porch. If all of us cleaned our own back porch, the world would be tidy. There wouldn't be a mess that it's in. And that's something that we can do. So when I say tidy up, clean up your own back porch, I'm talking about the inner realm. Tidy it up, neaten it up, take a look at it, organize it, take the parts out that's stuck in your craw, that bothered you, that caused you some I want to say dis-ease, not ease, dis-ease, discomfort. And clean it up. And that's what we can do. That's all we can do. And most of us forget to even do that. And, sometimes I'm reminded that I'm really talking to anyone who's willing to listen. But in the world, there's 99.99999% of the people that have no interest or have no clue. If they do listen, if they do stumble across me, they have no really clue to of what I'm talking about. So I'm talking to a very small audience. I figured 780,000 people, not even a million people, are in a stage of their life where they're willing to commit, to go all in, to focus on their own awakening, their own being. Being and becoming, as I quoted Buddha. This is what we're doing. We're being and becoming. Because it's not to be, you just don't say, I'm I awakened, and that's it. It's not static. When life stops, when water stops flowing, it grows stale, doesn't it? Undrinkable. And it can't fulfill its destiny, its property. Water is destined to flow, to move. Life is destined to flow, to move. So we use the gerund form of the verb to be. Of be. We use the gerund form, which just means being and becoming, to encapsulate, to share, to express this the ongoingness, the continual movement, the continual change. Nothing in life is certain but change. I know the original saying is taxes and change, but there's probably a way around your taxes, but there's definitely no way around the fact that things change. And it's not in your control. What's in your control is equanimity, to be on an even keel, to accept the good, the bad, and the ugly in the same state of mind, state of emotions, awareness, an even keel. Now, equanimity was the first gift that I was gifted, and it came to me while I was working so hard to find clarity. And what I thought clarity means it's a clear thought, clear mind, a clear thinking process. You could see just things so clearly. And things have always been kind of jumbled up for me, and that's fun because part of me loves to take that jumble and sort it and file it and store it, tidy it up. This is my natural proclivity, my natural tendency. So I'm quite happy with the fact that, and then to learn to give up on, I thought clarity meant stopping the mind, taming it, controlling it, slowing it down, and eventually stopping it so that there's no mind, a state of no mind. And it always bothered me. Why do they say mindfulness instead of no mindness or mindless? Why is your mind supposed to be full if you're supposed to empty it and quiet it? Anyway, it stemmed from two things. First of all, I had to give up, which is the surrender is the key here. You're not in control. You can make effort, but ultimately you're not in control of really anything, except how you react to what the world brings to your consciousness, what the world brings to you. But equanimity. I was given this gift while I was looking for clarity. And first of all, I told you I gave up, surrendered. So I can't silence my mind. My mind is always constant, and it's my only tool. I was using the jhana yoga, the path of knowledge, to take information to knowledge to wisdom. That was my yogic path. I was a jhana yogi, because that's what the gift, that's what I was gifted with. This is my method. This is the tools that I had, and mine being foremost amongst these tools. So intrinsically, I felt like, well, why mindful? Mindful means a full mind. If if I got it right, and then talk about emptying it, and then anyway. So two things happened. Number one, I gave up. I just surrendered. That was the end of my very rigorous, forced kind of posture and sitting and being like a samurai. Meditation is only meditation if you sweat. And I practiced this for 33 years until I just, I'm not getting closer. So I gave up. And just as Buddha did before he got awakened, before he was led to the Bodhi tree where he sat for 40 days and 40 nights. He had given up because he had tried everything. Tried being the operative term here. So, when I gave up, I got an inspiration. Number one, my understanding of clarity was turned on the head. At least for me, clarity meant purpose. Clarity meant being on task, knowing your purpose. And I've known my purpose. My purpose is return home to be at one with the oneness, to eliminate and recognize the falsity of any separation and division, to discard the ego, to reach a state of oneness. And that was home, and that's where I yearned for that. That's what motivated me, is that something always was missing in the world around me. And it turned out everything was missing. Was because just recognizing that we're already in this state, we're already Buddhas, we're already perfect. The only thing that's keeping us from this perfection is ourselves. Our egos, our separation and division. And society played a role, parents played a role, education played a role. Unfortunately, all of these things made it tougher. Reinforced this falseness, this maya of the ego. So anyway, then I got to understand, clarity means purpose for me. And that's what I was yearning for. But at the same time, I realized what clarity is. I've always had that. I realized that the gift that I had taken for granted and pretty much ignored was, I was given I existed in a state of equanimity. It was a gift. It was kind of like a reward, like, okay, you got this far, here's what we're going to give you. And it took me forever to recognize the beauty and what a gift this equanimity. It's funny that I had it and I didn't appreciate it. So I started doing this kind of really scrutiny, this self-analyzation, this time spent alone, this soul-searching. And I appreciate what a gift equanimity is. So even though I like all these little things, it was all little things, and the challenges, and it seemed like everything was going wrong. But they were all little, tiny things, as I said earlier, but accumulative, It just ate at me. It just bothered me because I thought, gee, I don't like this, much. And I was reminded, like it or not, life is coming, Who cares what I like? Absolutely no one. When I'm talking about the little I, of course, So, to dwell in a constant state of equanimity is quite a gift. And to understand that clarity was about purpose, not seeing our vision or thinking clearly, because I just don't think that's in my trajectory this lifetime. It's not clear thinking. And then I realized, I appreciate this kind of confusion and this mess, because it makes me discipline and try to clean it up, to tidy, to organize, to gather, sort, store, and file, which is part of the path of a jhana yogi. This is the process, and to glean, the ultimate goal is to glean wisdom from knowledge. You've got accumulated knowledge, you've discarded everything else that's not knowledge, and then you have to glean it, you have to mine it, gold mine. You have to look for the nuggets, you have to find the wisdom. And within the wisdom lies your path and your answers to returning to the natural state, your birthright, to remember the forgotten, as I always say. And that's all this process is a process of remembering. Remembering what you always were. Remembering what home feels like. So all of you, this is timely for me, and I think it applies to everybody, that we go through times of challenges. And we have to learn to witness, to take it all in first, just to accept it. Okay, this is what life is presenting me with now, and everything that life presents us with, we have to look at as an opportunity to grow. That's because that's what it is. Life is presenting you with these things so that providing you an opportunity. If everything was golden, I used to talk about golden people. You know, they were beautiful. They were intelligent. They were rich. They were always mellow. They were always happy. They were always happy-go-lucky. This is the golden people, and few and far in between, but I believe they exist. But now I understand that karmically they earned that, It's not like they're some kind of special. Well, it is special in the sense that that's their trajectory. God, I'm stumbling on that word. But that's close enough. Sometimes the tongue feels a little fat today, I'm not the man with the golden voice exactly, but I'm the man with the golden message. So I'd like to combine. I like to have the golden tongue so that things just... Right now, my tongue feels fat, Enunciating is takes more effort. So it's not my time of the golden voice, but the golden message, the golden guidance, the golden sharing. It's definitely that. So in times of challenge, times when things aren't going right, and what am I to complain, because they were all, like I said, tiny things, little things that happened in life. But if you live moment in moment, moment to moment, there's not big things, okay? Big things don't happen in the moment to moment until they do. But basically, moment to moment, you're dealing with the minutiae of living. And I love being in this state. The Buddhists say, carry water, chop wood. Do the task. Wash dishes. Cooking. All the things. Driving somewhere. This is going to do this, and then I'm going to do that. And shopping. I'm going to get this, and then I'm going to get that. Like I said, the minutiae, the small things in life, is usually what happens to moment, until you reach a moment that's just kind of everything. It's a period of transition. It's marking, that moment marks the beginning, where the moment to moment is expansive. These times of transition just kind of sneak up on you. Boom, there you are in the middle of it, and you're absorbed with that transition. And trust me, not every transition, spiritual transition, is a smooth. In fact, most of them are rocky, most of them are not always pleasant. The results are going to be positive and useful and meaningful. But as they occur, there's always a period of mourning. Particularly the darkest night is just before the dawn. I kind of butchered that, but that's what I'm doing today. I'm kind of butchering everything. But the darkest part of the day is just before the dawn. Anyway, so what? What I'm saying is that moment by moment, you're consumed with small things. And for me, when those small things, usually things go really smoothly when I'm organized and when I'm really in the moment and I know I'm going to do this. And I like to minimize, I like to consolidate. So maybe sometime I try to do in one thing, like I try to do maybe carry too much. I want to go upstairs one time, so maybe I'm carrying too much. And nowadays, with my age and balance, I need to keep a hand free to hold on to that banister because stairs are, be careful, stairs and bathtubs, stairs and bathrooms are two of the most dangerous things for people as they age. Because falling is to be avoided at all costs. Because things just don't heal like they did before. People break bones. More people, that's the beginning of death for a lot of people. Fall and break a bone, and then their immune system is not up to healing, and then something like it's usually pneumonia. You're weak in state. You get pneumonia, and a lot of people pass from broken bones. They actually die of pneumonia, just as my mother did. She had a bad heart, but it was pneumonia. It was weakness in the immunity system. And we just have to be aware and conscious. So I maybe need to make 2 trips, and it's probably better for me. That's my exercise. If I can't get on my bike, I'm walking up the stairs or doing my chores around the house, or even taking a walk now and then. So thanks to Thich Nhat Hanh, his words of wisdom, his compassion, his heartfulness, his mindfulness just provided me with this message. And such a timely, if it would have happened right in the throes of this thing, I probably wouldn't have paid the attention to it that it warranted. But it happened after I spent that day it happened after I did everything that he suggested, okay? So all he did is reinforce. And as I said, recently I've used a lot of, I like people who combine pictures, which I don't do because it's, I'm lucky enough just to get this image on the screen. And I'm not interested in editing much, I got the light I'm satisfied with, I got the sound that I'm satisfied with, and I got the setting. So this is as far, so I won't touch this, I'll just download it directly to YouTube when I'm finished, and that's what's serving me. So like I said, if it would have occurred, if I would have, you can only see the message. I can only see the message when I'm in the state of mind to recognize. You have to recognize it first. And I usually recognize it after I've been wrestling with it and say, aha! He's validating, in a sense, he's saying that what I discovered in my own self-examination, in my own review, my own reflection of what's been occurring in life around me. And the only reason I even reflect is because I need, there's a message there, and I want to get the message, and I want to incorporate it so that the next time it occurs, maybe it'll be a little easier. The next time all the little things start going wrong, maybe I'll just kind of laugh and say, you're a klutz right now. You're not getting it right now. But cool it. All things pass. It'll be okay. And with this kind of attitude, I tended to take it kind of seriously, and it resulted in, as I said, sort of as depressed as I could get, which isn't that depressed anymore, but it was a depressive state. I was feeling down. That why, even with paying attention, I understand that if you don't pay attention and something happens, well, it's on you. But if you're paying attention and stuff still happens, it just makes you really, what you have to do is look at things and say, okay, this stuff is going to happen. Out of my control. But what's in my control is how I receive it, how I reflect, and how and when, and if I learn from it. And if you don't learn, that's the thing about the universe, they give you a tap on the shoulder, and that's what this is really. It's minor, just a tap on the shoulder. Hey, pay attention. And I always noticed that it escalated when I was younger and stubborn and opinionated. I don't have an opinion in the world now, but I was younger and stubborn and opinionated, and assured with wanting to be right, and actually believing that I was right most of the time, which is really laughable, but it would escalate. So if I ignored this tap on the shoulder, it would be a, bang on the top of the head, on the back of the head. Boom, that's really sensitive to me. Boom, I feel that. Okay, still didn't get it. Then it's a stick. Then it becomes a 2x4 and a big boom, like a baseball bat, boom, boom. And then it becomes a 4x4, which is like, brings you to your knees and you stop everything that you're doing. Life will stop you if you're ignoring something so stubbornly, so blindly. Life will stop you in your tracks and say, now are you ready to listen? What does it take? What does it take to pay attention, to recognize the vagaries, the changes in life, to accept them in an even keel, in equanimity, to embrace them, to recognize them as not challenges but opportunities to learn, to grow. And that's what they are. That's why life provides these opportunities for us individually, is in the sometimes naive understanding that it might help, that we might become more sensitive, more aware of our immediate environment, and more aware of our place in the order of things. And this includes understanding just how unimportant we essentially are. Even an awakened being is only living in the natural, God-given birthright. And tell me, what's special in living in the way that you were designed, the way that you were gifted, the way that you were intended? Not much.